There's a storm brewing and we are carrying on regardless. But how are you doing? How's Morocco?
Absolutely fine. Ironically, I think we've had the hottest day here. It's lovely, and I'm sleeping outside, and it's great.
You're sleeping outside? Wow.
So you're sleeping outside.
Are you? Is that because you've been kicked out of the house? He's in the doghouse.
Something like that.
Sadly advising, as this happened to him only the other year.
You gotta take it like how you get it. So don't go back and apologize, you know? No one needs to hear that. You stay in the doghouse because you live up to your dog type personality, you know? Live up to the guy that they make you out to be.
I think you may be a very bad influence on me and others.
Well, I'm not here to influence, I'm here to guide, you know?
Guide? I think you're guiding me in the wrong direction.
No, look, you have to go to the darkness to see the light.
That's true.
That's heavy. That's heavy, yes, I agree.
And sleeping is, why are you wasting time sleeping? There's a lot of opportunities there in life to go out and grab it, you know? Not saying go out and grab a woman or something, but like, feel free, you know?
Triple T,
yeah.
What is the feeling
Yes,
in Morocco at the moment about the virus? Are people panicking as much as they are here?
People, we have a big influx of the Chinese people visiting here regularly. People are looking at them. They used to look at them in admiration, and now they're looking at them with a wary eye, to say the least.
Yeah, well, I was having a shower the other day in a swimming pool, and what had happened is this Chinese came. I ain't gonna lie, I grabbed my shampoo, I got the hell out of there.
How did you know they were Chinese?
Yeah.
Chinese looking?
No, Chinese, because their eyes are smaller than Japanese. Tiny bit. You got to look at it.
East Asia is a massive part of the world. You've got...
Yeah, but you could tell a Chinese.
I don't think you could. I mean, even China is a diverse region. You've got Western China, you've got Hong Kong, you've got...
It's all the same.
The Uyghurs. Triple T, do you not think this latest debacle with the coronavirus is just the latest trend in making China look bad? From the Hong Kong protests to the imprisonment camps for Muslims, and now this. We keep hearing bad news about China.
Oh, the reason you're hearing bad news is because the news is bad. It's something that is important. I think I heard one of your live streams a few days ago where you stated that more people die in the flu. But with this disease, no, you're absolutely right. But even more people die in car accidents than the flu. And I mean, and the list goes on, but I mean, more people died by stress than anything, stress-related diseases and attacks and heart attacks and so on. But with this disease that we have, this could wipe out, hundreds of thousands of people with that virus that spreads. And if it goes around the world, becomes global as it is seemingly becoming, it could really affect, people in the millions can die. I don't think the flu, with the fastidiousness and the cleanliness that we have nowadays, I don't think the flu can really take that many lives, but this virus, it can, so we have to be wary. I'm not saying all Chinese people have it, but what I'm saying is if you have been to China, it's probably a good thing to get yourself checked out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's a little bit cry wolf when we hear about SARS and we hear about Ebola and swine flu and all the rest of it. It just feels like there's yet another one.
Double T, are you there?
Triple T.
Double T.
Triple T.
Double T, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What are the, what kind of crisps do they have in Morocco?
I don't know. There's nothing as good as Walkers. There's probably those, what do they call them, Lakers or something. But I don't know. I haven't really wandered into the cuisine of crisp packets, really. But I assume they have it.
What kind of food guy are you? You like seafood?
The pink... No, the pink packet was always the pink packet was always my favorite in the UK.
Oh wow! And when was the last time you visited the UK?
I don't know, man. It's been too long. I haven't had a pink crisp packet, I think, in at least a year.
What?
I'll say.
Serious?
Yeah, I think the last time I had it was on like probably Eid or something in Ramadan or something.
That's a long time.
And if you come to the UK, we got a coronavirus with your name on it.
Okay, that's the strangest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Yeah, stay tuned, there'll be more. Look, Triple T, I want to ask about the political climate in Morocco. Is it calm? Is it safe? I believe it's one of the most stable Arab countries.
It is certainly safe, it's calm, it's relaxed. A few days ago, I was randomly walking where a protest took place. It was for Palestine. A protest, I think, happens every 2 weeks for Palestine, it seems, where I live. And everyone is just chants and so on, and it's this very bizarre experience, police all around. But I was at an event a couple of days ago, I think your viewers would find this interesting, where people were partaking in speeches, and one young man, he said that he was just walking. He had nothing to do with any protest against the government. He was simply crossing the road. He had nothing to do with it, no protest whatsoever. He turned up, he saw, hey, what's this? He just crossed the road, and before he knew it, all the police were chasing him. He ran for his life, he jumped over fences, he got away from the police. But he was to hear later that the people who were at that protest were arrested, had been jailed for 20 or even 30 years. So protesting against the king or anyone here is not the best idea. And also another story that's brewing here is that the king lost his watches were stolen, and they were worth millions, tens of millions, I think, in some cases.
Come on.
Digital
I don't know if you know
or
that
analog?
story.
Were they
I'm sorry?
waterproof?
I'm sure they
How
were a
many
bit.
meters can they go underwater? Because that's what you need with a watch, isn't it?
Yeah,
When you're in school, you're like, mine can go 25 meters. Mine can go 50.
You started to talk like me now.
This could probably go 100.
Well, your watch is a lot fancier than mine, because I don't even have a watch. I think the time is on the phone. I can see the time
you're one of those
on the phone. So what's the
guys.
point having one? What's the point? It
No, it
literally
is.
has no.
Because your phone can't always be there for you. Why are we so brainwashed by phones, man? A watch, look, bam, put it on your wrist. There you go. 11:50.
But the phone can
You can see
not
the
only-
seconds counting.
Is a little bit
Not only
of
can
vocabulary. Triple T.
not only can yes sir.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Saj has just rolled
Oh
down.
no,
Yeah. How do
no,
you
no. I was
say,
just saying yeah.
Go on. How do you say watch in Arabic?
That is a great. I can waqt is time. Waqt is
Yeah, no,
time, I guess.
I believe you're correct with sa. Sa can mean watch, can mean clock, and can mean hour as well.
Yeah.
And when people talk about the hour, they mean the end of time.
Yeah.
It could also mean
Your your co-presenter just said that the phone can't be with you all
Yes.
the time. In fact, the phone is with us all the time. It's not
When the
okay.
battery
It is literally
dies.
with us.
When the battery dies, like listen to me, single T, listen, right? Single T.
Triple T.
Now listen. Is Morocco more than just couscous and Casablanca? Is there more to Morocco? Give us an insight.
Yeah, Morocco's great. It's I go on a daily walk. I go up the mountains, down the mountains,
Oh, wow.
beaches here. I'm in a small town. I'm in a very small town. It's a great place.
You
It's
sound like a
a
slim
mountainous
guy.
area.
You a slim guy, you sound slim.
Slim.
Yeah, like skinny, like slim fit, like healthy.
Well, no, I'm about 13. So actually, ironically, I weighed myself just yesterday for the first time in months. So I'm 13. I'm probably the same weight as you. 13 stone, 4 pounds, I think I am.
So you're a chubby guy with a slim voice.
I'm a slim guy with a just a chubby belly. That's all. No one would know I'm slim until
36 waist, 38. What are we talking in?
Yeah, I think I would. I don't know. I could barely fit in jeans, but I think I would say 36. But as I say, I'm not fat. I'm just chubby around the belly for some reason. I'm not chubby anywhere else.
It's the middle-age crisis that we live through. And the shoe size,
I'm touching 40.
10 shoe size.
It is 10, and I'm almost 40. So 40 this year actually. So yeah, that's my life.
And sometimes you like to wear a baseball cap when it's sunny outside. Trying to get.
It's funny. I just put one down today. I think how do you know all this? Who are you, man?
Wow. Saj is becoming the telephone palm reader. That's not bad. You know what?
It's interesting
Triple
stuff.
T. We had a.
Are you?
Go on. I didn't give him any of that information, by the way. He's gleaned it all.
No, I was going to say he's Mystic Meg or something.
Yeah,
What's going on? Sorry, you were saying?
No, we had a funny phone call the other night from some pranksters trying to derail the show, if it wasn't already derailed enough. And this American guy, he sounded like a bit of a loser. He was phoning up and was giving us all this abuse down the phone. Some of it was racist, some of it was Islamophobic, some of it was homophobic against Saj, unfortunately. And I started trying to assess the type of character that I thought was phoning in, and I was saying, I think you're about this tall, I think you're a white guy, you're in your 20s, and I think I was getting it spot on, and he was sort of like, no, that's not right, and you could tell I was hitting the target.
Well, they say that the women, if they sound good looking, they're normally not. I don't know how that works on the, if they sound attractive, I should say, then normally not. But I don't know how it works on the side.
Yeah, you're right. Because fat women have nice voices.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah. You should put that to the test.
Triple T, do you ever watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
It's once again, it's such a strange. Before I called you guys, I was actually watching that on my phone.
It's spooky. It's Lessons for Life. Have you seen the episode? I would be amazed if this is the one you were watching, where Larry David's blind friend introduces him to his date, and the blind guy is saying, "Can you believe it? I hooked up with a model."
Yeah, I think I know of the one that you're referring to.
And he's saying, "Can you believe it? I hooked up with a model." And Larry David is unimpressed with the woman's looks. Bless her, but he doesn't know what to say, and she sort of gives him this look as if to say, "Well, you're not going to tell him, are you?"
You know, on that note, you know, it's interesting. I was also speaking to someone via WhatsApp maybe an hour ago regarding this. You know, we judge each other on the one thing that we have no control over. No one has any control over really overall how they look. You can, you know, add or take away whatever you can. But we make a judgment, an immediate judgment on people on how they look rather than on who they are. And what tragedy is that?
You should be proud to look like a disaster.
Well, you should be proud to look like however you look like. If you think of someone good looking right now in your mind, if you think of a good looking person, if somebody asks, let's say some Joe Bloggs is walking down the road and he or she asks you, am I good looking? And what you will do...
Triple T, I'm going to interrupt you.
Yes, sir.
Triple T, Double T. When you think of a good-looking person, just who do you think of? Who comes to mind quickly?
Angelina Jolie.
That's exactly what my co-host here just said.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is weird.
The connection. He whispered it to me, Angelina Jolie, and I knew that would be your... This guy, but you don't know about Triple T, he's a poet, and in one of his famous poems, he mentions Angelina Jolie. Yeah,
that's his career.
Well, it's one of his many strings, one of the many strings to his bow, and one night we'll share that with you. But yeah, why is Angelina Jolie the archetypal good-looking woman? I mean, both of you.
And ironically, I was once again watching this on YouTube, and I promise you, I watched this today, like maybe a couple of hours ago. And she actually was the. I think you had the Oscars or something yesterday, did you?
Yeah.
And they showed Angelina Jolie, and I can remember just thinking, and they showed her for like 1/10 of a second. I remember thinking, how on earth is this woman so beautiful? She just doesn't age. She stays exactly how she is, and she's the unbelievably the most gorgeous woman I think on this earth. It seems to me anyway, and to Saj, who's seated there beside you. But what's fascinating is any other woman that I meet now,
you're just comparing.
I judge her.
Oh no!
I do, and I think. I think everyone, we do that. I think everyone compares someone. So, you know, even when you look at men, who's a good-looking man? Who would you say a good-looking man is?
I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, and both of you say the name of a good-looking man.
I don't want to say it. Sounds good.
No, but just go with it for the experiment, and let's see if you say the same thing. All right. So on 0, you're going to say the good-looking man's name. You got one, Triple T? 3.